It's story time, and today I'm going to tell you about my 40-minute drive that took about 2 hours. Okay, so today I had to take my mom to work. It was at Walmart across town. It takes about 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back in good traffic conditions. Perfect traffic conditions, actually, because even in perfect traffic conditions, I will hit every single red light. So on the way out, I decided to grab a bunch of change, and I made sure I had like enough change for like a certain drink that I wanted, the soy caramel macchiato, which is a weird drink for me because I'm usually just a coffee-flavored coffee person. We had to go get some transmission fluid, and I didn't know how to do transmission fluid, but I thought it'd be pretty easy, you know, like just throwing oil in the car or something. So I got inside the auto parts store and I bought the transmission fluid, and I got a little 99-cent funnel. I saw an orange dipstick, but I knew that one was for the oil, and so I was like, where is this yellow dipstick that this book keeps talking about? It takes me like 5 minutes, and I finally see way down into the whatever it's called. I don't know anything about cars, but I found the little yellow dipstick, and I was like, okay, so where does the transmission fluid go? So I called my friend Josh, who knows stuff about cars, especially Hondas, which is what I was driving, Honda CR-V, and he didn't answer. So then I texted him like, how do I put transmission fluid in? And then I decided to call his dad, who also knows a lot about cars, and I didn't get an answer there. But then I saw that I got a reply from Josh, and I guess I wasn't specific enough. I just said Honda, but he likes CR-V, so I said yeah. And then I get a call back from Richard, and I ask him. He tells me that the same place where you get the dipstick out is also the place where you pour the transmission fluid in. And so I was like, oh, okay, that sounds easy enough. So I take the dipstick out, and I put the funnel down in there. It was just kind of hard because there's all these tubes and wires and everything, and I just like shoved it down in there. And then I tried to put the transmission fluid in, and I opened it up, and I was just like, okay, how do I get this in there? Because the bottle won't fit down there. Well, it'll fit down there, but I can't maneuver it around enough so that I can pour it in. And then I realized that I have the wrong funnel. So I go back inside, and I go, because I'm still at the auto parts store, and I go buy one of those long funnels. One with the long part and the funnely stuff at the top. Funnely. That's a word that is real. So I get the long one, and I aim it down at the hole, and I like stick it down in there, and it's all the tubes and everything are still in the way, so I'm just like pushing it down as hard as I can, but also trying to be gentle so that I don't break any of the tubes or wiring out and cause a new problem in the car. And I get it down in there, and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna pour this in, and it might get everywhere or it might not. And so I pour it in, and all the liquid goes in. So that whole part of the trip, part of my 40-minute trip, took about 10 minutes. So I leave the auto parts store, and I decide to go the back way to Walmart. I'm going down, everything's fine, and then all of a sudden there's a train. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I can, just go around, go on the highway, go over the train, and come back onto the road. And I get back onto the road on the other side of the train. I'm going down, and then another train. So I decide to turn around and go back and just get back onto the main way that I usually go. I get onto the main road, and I'm driving, and there's a lot of traffic. It's almost rush hour, but not quite. And I hit like every single red light. Hitting every red light for me is pretty normal. I don't know why, but every single traffic signal in this town seems to hate me. I finally make it down to Walmart, and I drop my mom off. And then the Starbucks is in the next parking lot, so I decided to go over there, and I hit the red light getting out of the parking lot. Waiting at the red light, I forget that I want to go to Starbucks, and so I ended up turning instead of going straight across, and I ended up going the long way to Starbucks. But still, it's not really a big deal because I'm not in a hurry, so I go inside, and there's no line at Starbucks, which is awesome because even though I wasn't in a hurry, I didn't feel like waiting. I'm still kind of sick, if you can tell by my voice. So I get up to the counter, and I order my drink, and I was like, I want a tall soy caramel macchiato. And then I'm standing there for a couple seconds, and she grabs the cup, and I'm like, wait, that doesn't sound right. I want a venti caramel macchiato. And I think she was already kind of expecting that. I don't know. So I put in my order, and she tells me the price of the drink, and I'm thinking to myself, that's not as much as I grabbed. I grabbed exact change because I knew that the coffee was a certain amount, but then what she said was like 10 cents over what I thought. So maybe I was wrong. I don't know. And I'm like, oh man, can I change that again? And she's just like, yeah, you want a grande? And I was just like, yeah. So the grande ends up being like $4.94. And I'm like, okay, I got enough change for that because I brought enough for the venti, or what I thought was the venti price. But then I'm pulling out my change, and I noticed that what I thought I had, I didn't have. So I'm like counting the change, and I noticed that a bunch of my change probably fell out of my pocket because I'm just wearing like my regular shorts. These are my shorts. They're just Dickies shorts. Anyway, the pockets aren't like the best pockets ever. They're kind of shallow. Like if I move my leg wrong, I could lose stuff out of my pocket. Yeah, I keep counting over and over, and I'm reaching around in my pockets, and I had 1 cent more than what I needed. Before I had $4.95. And so I leave Starbucks and I'm heading back home, and I hit every single red light again. And I come to this line of cars in my lane, and I'm like, oh. So I'm still just waiting. So 20 minutes pass, and I'm finally able to get to the street to turn down the side road. And I finally get there, and I find out that every other car in the state decided to go down Spruce Street. So I got this long line of cars in the opposite lane, and then there's the long line of cars in my lane. And mostly I'm just kind of worried about the car because I just had to put transmission fluid in. I finally get out of there. Then I get back on the main road, and I hit the last couple of red lights until I finally get home. And that's my story. Have fun with that.
I'm gonna hate to see you go, but I've been impossible, I know. I'm gonna hate to see you go, but you will. Oh, you